Well, I'm getting a couple more cameras ready to set out. Since I started sharing my trail camera footage, I've had a lot of people asking about the cameras I use and stuff about them. Well, when I bought these, last year I bought a pair of the Wildgame Innovations Terra 10 at Tractor Supply. It was a 2-pack for 99 bucks. I didn't expect a lot out of the cameras because they're cheap. And the results have been satisfying. For the most part, I'm happy with the cameras for the small investment. So then I bought 2 more of the Terra 10s, and I had one of the cameras fail, and I sent it back. But then I bought some of the Terra 12s, and then I bought a couple of the Cloak 14s, which is one of these, and some of the Lights Out. And these are all Wildgame Innovations. For the most part, I'm happy with the cameras. Some days it's kind of maddening because I'll go out and I'll check my cameras and there's moose tracks or bear tracks there and I got nothing on the camera. But then other times I'll have cameras that have taken a lot of videos of just grass blowing around. I had a camera set up on the beaver pond and it used up a bunch of the SD card just with grass and leaves blowing around. That's kind of maddening. I was going to invest in some of the more expensive cameras and I was reading the reviews, and just like these, it was mixed reviews. People are thrilled with them and people don't like them. So even some of the most expensive cameras had basically the same reviews as the cheap ones. So I've been investing in these. Small price tag lets me have more cameras out, which gives me more opportunities. And if somebody steals one, it doesn't hurt as much. So what I've been doing is I number all of my cameras here. I've got a number underneath. I number them all. That way I can keep track of what I'm putting out there. But even more importantly, if I go out and I check a camera and I know the critters have gone through, but the camera didn't get anything, I will write in my little notebook, number 5 isn't very sensitive. Or if I have one that's very sensitive, I'll write that. That way I can place those in the woods accordingly. If I have one that's more sensitive than others, I will set that further away from the trail. And if I have one that's not very sensitive, I place that one closer to the trail. And keeping track of them allows me to, if I have one that's acting funky, then I can take it right out of the game. And that has helped me a lot. I just have a little notebook like this. I have them all numbered and how they perform and where I place them. It's been a big help. So I want to share a little bit more of the footage I have been taking with these cameras, and I'm going to put the links down below in the description of the cameras that I'm using. Yeah. So enjoy the footage.
Here's a nice doe sneaking through the ferns. She's got her little fawn trailing behind her. How sweet. And there's a cow moose coming through the same spot, and she's got a calf trailing her too. There's a small bear passing through, and another cow moose with her calf, a bigger one. There's a bull moose this time, and he's coming in close. That's a little too close. What a wise guy. There's another cow, and she's on the move, and so is her young'un. And here they are again, but moving at a slower pace. Looks like the little guy has taken an interest in my trail cam, giving it a good sniff. Now there's another bull moose, and I hope he doesn't have any surprises for us like the last fella. And another nice bull. Nice rack on that one. And then there's this one. Are those antlers or hot dogs poking out of its noggin? There's a bobcat at night, and another bobcat during the day. Always nice to see them out here. Now, I've been seeing a few does around, mostly traveling alone or with a single fawn, but no twins or triplets so far this year. Now looky here, 2 little bear cubs wandering through. No, that's 3 little bear cubs. That's something you don't see every day. Here's another bull moose. Lots of moose around if you know where to look. And there's another one, and he surely knows how to strip a branch. Another solitary doe, and hey! I think these critters are wising up to where I put my trail cameras. A lot of wise guys in the forest this year. And there's another nice doe, grooming her fawn right in front of my camera. Well, how sweet is that?
Well, good morning, everyone. It's been quite a while since I've done one of these question and comment episodes. I just haven't had that many questions come in. Well, good morning, everyone. It's been quite a while since I've had one. Well, good morning, everyone. It's been a while since I've done one of these question and comment episodes. I just haven't had that many questions come in. The few that trickle in, I've been putting on my list, which I will address a few of those here this morning. As you can see, we finally got the door changed out. The old door is gone. We got the glass door going into the screen house. We absolutely love it. You'll see more of the screen house coming in the future. All right. So, first off, you're probably wondering, why is he dressed like a border collie? All right. Well, a good friend sent us these shirts for laughs, and we get a lot of fun out of them. Tildy didn't know what to make of it at first. So, why am I dressed like a border collie? Let me tell you why. There's a YouTuber who does everything that I do. If I do a video where I'm talking about life philosophies and telling you to chase your dreams, he's talking life philosophies and telling you to chase your dreams. Some stuff is almost word for word. If I talk about nature and just talk about this or that, he's talking about nature and this and that. They say that imitation is the best form of flattery, or the most sincere form of flattery, but I don't look at it as flattery. I look at it as an annoyance. Not long ago, he was showing you how to build my rocket stove. For snip and clip for clip and screw for screw, and this is how you do it, and never gave one mention of where he learned it. But that's the way a lot of the stuff is on YouTube. People grab and go. They grab a good idea from somebody, and then they regurgitate it. And like I said, it's an annoyance. So, I am dressed like a border collie because I want to see if his next video is going to be dressed like his dog. Okay, let's get to the questions. This is a question that came in quite a while ago. What are my thoughts about the North Pond Hermit? Now, if you don't know who the North Pond Hermit is, I'll give you a little bit of background, but if you Google it, you will find all kinds of info. There was this guy, I think his name was Christopher Knight, and he was 27 years old back in, I think it was 86. Let's see here. I wrote a couple of notes. In 1986, at the age of 20, he just went off into the woods in Maine with a tent, set up a little camp, hidden away from everybody up in Maine, and he stayed there for 27 years. All right? You go out into the woods here in New Hampshire or Maine in a nylon tent for 27 days in the wintertime, and you're more of a man than I am. This guy went out there for reasons of his own, and he stayed there. And he stayed well hidden, basically undetected for all of that time. And the story that came out about him says that like a guy and his son was hunting and they came across his camp. But aside from that, to his knowledge, he was undetected. Now, he didn't make a fire, he didn't have a wood stove, and he made his living by going around and breaking into camps and stealing things. Now, before you paint a really horrible picture of the guy, I have mixed emotions about his actions. For one thing, I'd love to sit down and talk with him, interview this guy, because his survival tactics are way beyond what you're finding on YouTube when you're looking up bushcraft and survival. Because this guy spent 27 years in a tent in Maine through all those winters, okay? But he didn't go out and trash places. He stole just what he needed. Now, I don't condone that kind of behavior, but he still did it with a degree of respect. He only took what he needed. He didn't trash anybody's place, from what I have learned. You know, broke in as gently as possible, stole flashlights and food items and propane bottles and clothing and stuff like that. And he got away with it for 27 years. That just blows my mind. So he finally got caught. There was this big thing on the news. I don't know, it might have been around 2010. And there's somebody wrote a book about him, and I'll put the link down below. Now, I'm not recommending the book because I haven't read it, but this is a book written about him. And somebody wrote a song about him too, and I don't know whatever happened to him. He did get arrested, but I don't think he did any jail time, and whatever happened to the man after that, I don't know. I never looked into it. But I would love to talk with him because his mindset, how he handled all of that, his isolation, just Google Northbourne Hermit. You're going to have to filter through some garbage, but it's pretty interesting. So what my thoughts are about him, I think he's fascinating. Like I said, I don't condone his behavior with the stealing. I despise that kind of shit, but everything about him, his survival tactics and everything. And he was doing, I guess the biggest impression that he made on me is he did this without an audience, okay? There was no one filming him. He wasn't doing it, not seeking fame or fortune. He was just completely free man doing his own thing out there. And what I see on YouTube now is so many people are, they're living like reality shows where it's all fake, it's all done for the camera. This guy, it was just the opposite of that. He wasn't seeking fame or fortune, nothing. He was just out there to survive and live free on his own terms, and that's what he did. I don't know. I'm impressed by that. Okay, on to the next one. All right. With all the old foundations up there, do you ever have any experiences with ghosts? Any freaky stuff going on? Aha! Well, there's been a few freaky things happening up here. When I first decided that I was going to fix the camp and I was coming up here for 2 and 3 week stints working on the camp, at night I'm in bed, Frankie's on the bed with me, there's nobody else in the camp, and you'd hear chair move, something rattle, ka-dink, ka-dink. Sound like a pot on the stove. I always thought maybe my dad's ghost was kicking around in here. I don't really know. It was freaky, but it was kind of cool. On another occasion, if you pull in the upper driveway, the headlights are facing right at the bedroom window. We went to bed. A few minutes later, short amount of time later, I happened to open my eyes. The headlights are on in my Jeep, shining right into the bedroom. Okay, they weren't on when we went to bed. So I thought at first somebody pulled in the driveway, but I didn't hear anything. So I go outside, and the headlights are on in my Jeep, but the light switch is off. That was weird. The exact same thing happened with my black truck, but those were the parking lights. I see some light outside, I look outside, the parking lights are on in my black truck and the switch is off. 2 different occasions, 2 different vehicles. Woohoo! I don't know. So that's all I'm going to answer here today. I'm going to wrap this video up. You all enjoy the rest of your Sunday. All the best to you, and God bless.
Frankie and the boss out walking in the woods, living life happy and free. Tracks in the snow everywhere they go. There's a pokey way up in that tree. A beaver built a pond where they have some fun, taking life a day at a time. Best friends until the end. Frankie and the boss. Frankie and the boss. Frankie and the boss.